on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the...
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Tonight, the stage is set for our final Thursday night game of the year between the Cleveland Browns and the Seattle Seahawks. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Keep working, baby. Keep working, folks. Hey.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Tackle made there by Jabril Peppers.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. He's at the 30, 20, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, that's how they envisioned to get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at the 34. Now a play fake here on 1st down. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start.
Leopard!
A first carry now for Nick Chubb. He'll get this to the 40. Sweet little juke in there. Got him some extra yardage. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. Another good run there. He's been good all season long. I don't know if he's going to win that MVP award, but just to be in the discussion, obviously that means he's had a great run.
The raw numbers put him in the discussion. Can he carry his team to enough victories? Can he put them in a spot where we say to ourselves, well, an MVP carries his team to the playoffs. That's what he's going to need in order to get that award.
Flash those fast feet, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line as he can't get any closer to the end zone. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
So the myth has been shattered. every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
On third down, Mayfield dumping it off for Johnson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Duke Johnson, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. So we're back to a 1-point game now as the kickoff comes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Doug Baldwin and company getting ready to go again on offense. Well, he's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season. Going to need a pretty good finish, though, if he wants to reach that mark.
Well, I like how you phrased it, partner. He is within shouting distance. If he stays on this pace, he's got a shot at it. But he needs a big game in there, right, to make sure that he gets it. So you know that during the week, in practice, and look, he asks for the ball all the time anyway. He's really going to ask for the ball and let his quarterback know he's open.
Time to look at the defensive starters for Cleveland. They're just below the cut line for top half of the league, 17th in the NFL against the run.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people. Put them on the ground.
On second down, Wilson. He goes full extension, and he's got it. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
I know retirement ceremonies, a rocking chair is often one of the major gifts, but don't give this guy one just yet. He may be plus 30, but my goodness, how about that effort?
Yeah, he's not that old. Hey, I'm on the wrong side of 32.
You okay? You feeling all right?
I'll be all right.
Okay, good.
I just need some chocolate in the box. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Doug Baldwin with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to it. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Extra point up and good by Succa. And the lead is up to 8. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Browns offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And the division title out of reach, we know that. This is as good a spot, Charles, as they're going to get. That first wild card and the number 5 overall seed.
So it's just a matter of adjusting now, isn't it? And what I mean by that is mentally. Every team starts the season thinking, let's go for the number 1 seed, right? Being the top team. Number 2 is pretty great, too, because you get the opening bye, and you're at home after that. But it doesn't matter at this point. Just getting in, and you just sit there and talk to your team. Would you rather go on the road and deal with someone, or would you rather stay at home for the playoffs? Let's go on the road and go take someone out.
No. Check. Patriot.
They run again on first down, Chubb. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
And he's got his man. That's Landry. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys? Coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night, guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. The starters defensively now for the Seahawks. They were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
Leopard!
They come out here in the eye.
No, check, Patriots!
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Nick Chubb with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the second most in a single year. And the Browns move back within a couple of the lead. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive, and how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
So we're back to a 1-point game now as the kickoff comes. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the gun, it's Wilson. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 1 quarter down here on a frigid December night. It's the Seahawks on top here early. We'll be back to Seattle right after this. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Wilson on 1st down. It's complete to Lockett. Past the 20, and all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson, 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Suck up for the extra point. Extra point put through by Suckup, and the lead is up to 8. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. Oh, twisting away. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They came out not so hot. The first quarter, they were sputtering a little bit, but they seem to have stayed the course and really righted the ship here in the second.
Well, let's face it, all the preparation that goes into getting ready for a game, all the scouting reports, the practice, the repetition, sometimes you get a little bit of a lull to start things off. Maybe you get a little flat, but if you put in that time, you put in that effort, it can come back to you, and that's what we're seeing so far.
Now can they keep that momentum going? They pitch it to Chubb. Got some room at the 30. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39. Leopard.
A toss play to Chubb. Spins past him. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
That certainly felt like an example of the defense just saying, okay, we've had enough. We've gotten mashed all night long. About time we got a good play in. But flip it over to the offensive side. They've got to be really upset that they allowed a play like that to happen. They were pitching something.
And this is caught inside the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A big play there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Browns move back within a couple of the lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. And I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
And time for us to spotlight Doug Baldwin. We're in the second quarter. He already has 2 touchdowns. We know how good he is. That's well documented. How do you contain him?
We know he's a nightmare. So in this situation, I would go ahead and double him, maybe even have a third person in the area, and try and dissuade them from throwing him the football. Make someone else beat me for a while, because I don't know that their talents are his, because when he gets his hands on the ball, he breaks down my entire D. Someone else, they may not make the same type of a play.
Well, we know his talents are very good. They go play action with Wilson. He's got it. The tight end, Jeff Hireman. Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. They'll run it now out of the gun. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
On third down, it's Carson, and they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. Now the former Oregon man, this is Kenyon Barner. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On third down, Wilson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
And Suckup will put this one right through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in it.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. A little bit of flip the script. Quarter 1, they struggled. Quarter 2 here, they put things together. And I guess sometimes, Charles, you just come out and you have to get your feet underneath you in a ball game, right?
That's exactly right, because every now and then you don't come out of the gate as fast and as strong as you want to. Sometimes you have to ramp up into it or take a few hits along the way and figure it out. And that's what they've done so far. Slow start, but now they're starting to...
Jarvis Landry, the 30, 10, 5, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Jarvis Landry with touchdown. Extra point attempt to come here. No problem there on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but there's that special one there. I say they go get him.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Larry Ogunjobi in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Play action. It's Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. A chance for us here to discuss Jarvis Landry. And the previous drive put him up over 1,000 yards for the season. So now it's what you like to refer to, my friend, as gravy time, right?
It is. I mean, he's done it, right? He's accomplished the goal. So the good players, they relax a little. They bask in it. They think this is, okay, we've done what we set out to do. The great players decide to push that number as high as they possibly can. I don't expect him to have any let-up in his game the rest of the run.
Great thing if you're on the opposite side. He's such a weapon. He just opens things up for the other guys around him.
Yeah, if you're the opposite receiver, you should expect a few passes to come your way, too, because I've got to kick coverage in his direction. Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Second down, Mayfield. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A big play there as the first half is winding down. And the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And now running right through it. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. $14 seconds, all that's left to this first half as they come up on first down.
Green 80.
Now a first carry for their fullback. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Denzel Ward, the number 4 pick in the 2018 draft, making the tackle from his corner spot. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Here's Jonathan Coach. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is taken at the 3. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Jarvis Landry and company heading back onto the field now. Good day for him so far here in the third quarter. He's hit pay dirt once, over 100 yards, but hey, it's the third quarter. He's thinking, I want more, right?
He wants more, and it just increases the confidence of his team because every play he makes, that means his quarterback is really feeling good about throwing the football. Probably feels like he can't throw an incomplete pass when he throws it to him right now.
Yeah, he's looked really, really sharp. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now a carry here for their fullback. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
How about that call handed to the big guy in that situation? Normally you think of him as a real short yardage runner, but in this case they trust him to get a few more yards than that. I remember an old New York Giants quarterback, a Super Bowl winning quarterback, telling me he loves offensive coordinators who call the plays with a little bit of abandon.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
They go play action now. Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Are we on the same page here, partner? Because I think they had the right idea. Just take what you can get on 3rd and forever.
Yeah, in real life, I'd say yes. It's just these video games are tempting. You want to go downfield with it.
I like the way you've evolved. You know, you learned how to play it the Madden way.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. A chance for us here to discuss Jarvis Landry. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And out across midfield down to the 45. Give him 30 yards there.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
From our vantage point, that was just one bad play by the offensive line. in a series of really good ones tonight, but I know that they're going to be really ticked off. It's a lot like a baseball pitcher losing a no-hitter late in the game.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Now a second down throw for Mayfield. He'll buy some time right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And they went for a big play through the air on second down, couldn't connect. Now it's third. Just his second incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
Third and long for Mayfield. He's going deep for Brown. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
They had enough yards for the first down, but a clutch hit right there defensively. Jars it free. No first down.
And now they're going to go for it. This isn't 4th and inches. This is 4th and 14. Now Mayfield on 4th down. And this is caught. He hits Landry. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. This quarterback now over 300 yards down for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. They toss it left side to Chubb. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb becoming just the second player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. And the Browns add on to their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is
pressure comes and Wilson's going to go down. Myles Garrett in there yet again. What else is new as he continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They'll run. It's Barner. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game.
Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Myles Garrett in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the 3rd quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. He has been on his A game. We're in the 3rd quarter. He's already in search of touchdown pass number 5.
He's played so well that it's hard for him.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. And that'll be marked down as their 1st sack of the game.
Well, they had 6 last week. And this offense did its homework, didn't it? Because they saw all that pressure, and they really worked hard to tamp it down and beat it back. And they did a great job in the 1st half. And now they've gotten their 1st sack here in the 2nd.
And this is taken in at the 5. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. 58 yards. And the Browns are pouring it on.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back.
Back now in Seattle, Washington, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Tennessee offense making their way out onto the field as you take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Well, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
On second down, here's Wilson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
It's a lot of contact going on there. And in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Here's Wilson. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up a fourth down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that... a team put 70. I actually saw that happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right?
Yes,
as the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks.
At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Every player I know tends to play the game in his mind before it actually happens. There's no way he thought that at this stage of the game, this would be his first big run like that.
Yeah, but it's got to feel for him like the floodgates open, a sigh of relief. Now we'll see if things can open up for him.
See if it can continue.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And spins away. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, this D, particularly the secondary, has been picked apart at points here tonight. They finally, though, get to the quarterback, get a pick.
And we know this about him. He loves night games, loves the spotlight, loves being the center of attention. I will bet you that he ran off the field almost chuckling to himself. They finally got one. They finally got me.
And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
That's it, baby.
Now Wilson on second down. And he'll go down in the end zone. Down goes Wilson. It's a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says? Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away.
Green 39.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The result, a 1st down as the quick slant gets him 14. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. The tackle made by K.J. Wright.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Detroit!
Mayfield now. Sliding out of the pocket. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
And they just hit another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
The age-old argument. When you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Mayfield going to throw deep for the end zone. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. Oh, and now he bowls him over.
Move the team!
One last shot for Wilson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers.